Q1, week 5, and today is Tuesday. It says, in the problem to the left, make another row that would go underneath the pyramid. So yesterday we figured out how we were getting up the pyramid. It was 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus 5 is 9. 5 plus 3 is 8. Then 7 plus 9 is 16. 9 plus 8 is 17. So I need to come up with two numbers that would add to 3. Then use that same number to add to 4. So I wrote it down on my paper. I didn't even write the whole pyramid. I just did my one row I needed to have. So I did 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 3 plus 0 is 3. Did anybody have another way?
1 plus 2 is 3.
1 plus 2 is 3.
3.
1 and 4.
Okay, because if I did that, 2 plus 3 does not equal 4. There is another way though. Katie?
2 plus 1 plus 3.
Okay, so 2 plus 1 is 3.
Yeah.
1 plus
3
is 4.
Plus 2.
3 plus
2
2 is 5.
and then plus
And
1.
2 plus 1 is 3.
That's what I had, but it looks backwards on there, so it confused me. Somehow.
You're all right.
I don't know.
You're good. Number 2. We have squares, circles, triangles, and then another circle. So what should I find first?
Triangles.
I was finding triangles because these are going to be the same number. So I would take 36 divided by 2, which is 18. So I know 18 plus 18 is 36. So my triangle is 18.
Yeah, 18.
Then I'm going to find my next triangle and I'm going to put the 18 in here. So 18 plus what gives me 45?
45 minus 18.
I do, excellent. I do 45 minus 18 and I get
27.
27. So my circle is 27. So then I put 27 in for this. So something plus 27 equals 53. So I have to take 53 minus 27 and I get
26.
So my square is 26.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I got everything right except for I accidentally put for the circle 26 and the square 27. I flip-flopped them.
Okay, well you would have had to do it correctly in order to, that's
No,
okay.
I got it correct, I just put them in the wrong spot.
That's okay. I'm gonna really concentrate on number 3 because this is what we're working on right now, subtracting integers. It says subtract a negative 34.7 from a negative 7 and 85 hundredths. Many of you on your paper
Subtract it.
would have just done this. That is not the correct way of doing it. We have to take the negative 34 and 7/10 from the 7. So I have to set it up as a negative 7 and 85 hundredths minus a negative 34 and 7/10. Then I have to use my rules.
Keep change, change.
Keep change. Keep a negative 7 and 85 hundredths. Change subtraction to addition.
And that
Change
to a
the
positive.
negative to a positive. The rule of adding integers, I have a positive or a negative and a positive, so I subtract 34 and 7/10 minus 7 and 85 hundredths. Add a 0. 7 becomes a 6. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 8 can't do. So the 4 becomes a 3. This becomes a 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. Bring down the decimal. I cannot do 3 minus 7, so this becomes a 2. 13 minus 7 is 6. 2 minus nothing is 2. The negative is smaller, so I take the sign of the bigger number, so this stays positive. Many of you would say, well, I got Cause you just subtracted. But you wouldn't have, because then your answer should have been negative. So you need to make sure that you start with the correct equation, and then you do keep, change, change. Number 4. Jim had $3,067.48 in his checking account. He wrote a check to pay for 2 airplane tickets. His account now was $1,845.24. How much did each ticket cost? Well, if I started with this amount, and I'm left with this amount, how do I figure out how much it costs for the tickets? First of all, subtract. So everybody should have been able to do that. $3,067.48 minus $1,845.24. Do my subtraction. 4, 2, decimal point, 2, 2. I cannot do that, so you need to borrow. 10 minus 8 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. That is how much my tickets cost. But there are 2 tickets. So I take 1,222 and 24 cents divided by 2. 2 doesn't go into 1, but it goes into 12 6 times evenly. So I'm going to do short division. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 2 once. Don't skip that decimal. Bring it up right away. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 4 twice. And I should probably have a dollar sign. Number 5. We have 6/10 plus 8 75/100. Says for us to simplify, which just means to answer, just means to solve the problem. So when I'm adding, I have a fraction and I have a decimal. What do I need to make sure? What do I need to make sure? That they are what? Either both fractions or both decimals. It's easier for me to change the fraction to a decimal. How do I change a fraction to a decimal? You divide 6 divided by 10, right? But I don't even have to do that. Because it's 6/10. I know that this is the 1's place. And I know that this is the 10th place, so I just put 6/10 plus 8 75/100. You must write it up and down to line up your decimals. I can put a 0 right there underneath that 5. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry the 1. Make sure you bring that decimal down. And 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 35/100. How many of you did get all the first 5 completed? I didn't say correct. Completed. Okay, I should probably be seeing more hands than this. Because you should be having something written down. How many of you got all 5 of those right? 4? Nice. 3? 3 of the first 5 right? 2? 1. I should see everybody's hand up. You should always got one of these right. Okay. 6.
Jeez, Miss Belden.
You tricked us.
6 was hard.
What?
6 was a little bit harder. It says a rectangular room has a perimeter, okay, I underline that, that's a key word, of 70 meters and is 20 meters long. Write an equation to represent the area. Well, let's think about this. All right, so I'm going to take this information. I need to find the perimeter. To find perimeter of a rectangle, it is 2 of the length plus 2 of the width. you need to write this down, okay? Excuse me. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, that's perimeter. Alright? If I go back to my story problem, it says I know the perimeter is 70 and it's 20 meters long, so I'm gonna put that into my equation. Perimeter is 70 equals 2 times my 20, and that was from the story problem, plus 2W. So now I have 70 equals, what's 2 times 20?
40.
40 plus 2W. Draw your line, this is an equation. Box up that W, tell you not to move. I'm gonna subtract 40 from both sides. And the reason why it's subtracting, it's because you're adding the additive inverse, so this became a 0. 70 minus 40 is
30.
30 equals 2 times W. If this is multiplying, how do I get rid of the divide by 2? Divide by 2. Cross those off because they cancel each other out. So now I have 15 equals W. I'm not done yet.